Hello everybody, Natalie Ross here with Naturally Radiant Wellness. In this video I want to talk about health and vitality in regards to living your legacy. So, if you don't mind, I do have a couple notes for this video. It's a very important video to me, so I didn't want to dazzle anybody with too much rambling, but more so be very concise with what I have to say. So if you don't know me already, I'm a holistic health practitioner. I work one-on-one with individuals to get to the root of the chronic health issues, as well as to solve some of their digestive, hormonal, or metabolic imbalances. Quick note before I start the video, I do want to make an announcement for my A Limb Formation Challenge. November 1st through the entirety of the month, it's going to go deep into eliminating some of those foods, habits, behaviors, substances that are holding you back from having an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. We're going to get into detoxification, we're going to get into stress alleviation, we're going to get into diet, we're going to get into digestive health, as well as different ways to really harmonize the hormones in the body, as well as to make it a inflammation-free place. So, I look forward to having you there. If you want to join our challenge, it's going to be, like I said, November 1st. Please add yourself to my free Facebook group called Trust Your Gut. There's going to be a cap to how many people get the challenge for free, so I totally recommend you get in there before that ends and caps off. I haven't decided the number just yet, but I'm thinking around 100 people. So make sure that you add yourself to the Facebook group to get the challenge for free, all right? And mark your calendars for November 1st. So, let's get into it. Health and vitality to live your legacy. So I first just wanted to paint the picture of your body and your vitality being representative as energy or life force or prana. Now, chi as well as prana are two names for energy that have been used for thousands of years by ancient practices. Now, in recent years, you may have been reading some very enticing books surrounding the idea of metaphysics as well as quantum physics and the ways in which our cells are actually considered mostly energy, otherwise known as light force. Now this is very significant in human history, in scientific history, as well as health history, because it allows us to perceive the body as not just a physical body, but as an energetic body. Now this has been known for many years through different ancient practices, but to see it stated aloud in the scientific field, to me, is very renowned. So we're, from my perspective, almost starting to see a combination of science and spirituality starting to conjoin, because the thought of ourselves being energy or light, essentially, could be considered a spiritual concept. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, as well as in The Placebo Effect, about epigenetics and how 95% of all diseases are caused by external environmental factors that are essentially perceived by our mind or our body as a threat. Now this can be biochemical, or this could be simply from the aspect of us thinking a thought so many times over and over in our head, either consciously or subconsciously, that it becomes a part of our being. Now that's simply from his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, but moreover, in relationship to this specific video, we're talking about how these cells are essentially forming their own vitality by receiving signals from the internal and outside world through different environmental stressors, and this is called epigenetics. Your genes, the way that your body unfolds itself, is determined by the buttons pressed by the environment that you're in. That is huge. That is essentially allowing us to see that your diet, your lifestyle, your mindset has pretty much everything to do with the way that you're living your life today and the way that you are feeling on a health perspective. So, next point, 99.9% of our cells are made up 99.9% of cells are made up of empty space, which means that you are energy, and this energy is what makes up your electromagnetic field, which helps to harmonize your thoughts and energetic perception from inputs of the outside world. Wow. So if you watched my chakra system video, I recommend you watch it. I talked about how we have 7 energetic centers throughout our body, and each energetic center plays into our overall electromagnetic field. Now that is because the vitality of each of our cells within a specific energetic center is going to dictate the vitality of that energetic center, and therefore will dictate the vitality of our electromagnetic field and the strength of our electromagnetic field. So it's essentially a biofeedback loop. How we perceive the outside world is going to dictate how our body receives information from the outside world. And the way in which our body is feeling currently is going to be receiving information from the outside world to understand what the best gene would be to play in role of what the outside world is presenting to our bodies. Does that make sense? When it comes to that biofeedback loop, therefore, it's important for us to pay attention to how we're living our lives, how we're taking care of our body, the choices that we're making on a daily basis. That includes how we're drinking, how we're sleeping, how we're eating, how we're thinking, how we are breathing, and how we are moving on a daily basis in order to press the right epigenetic buttons, so to speak, to allow our genes to flourish instead of fighting in resistance to an environmental stressor that's predicating disease. So, in that instance, we have some life affirmative choices to make, okay? These life affirmative choices, going off of the 6 foundation principles, which I just laid out for you, okay? That's thinking, hydration, sleep, moving, eating, and breathing. All of these 6 foundation principles, when we're making the proper choices within them, then we're making life affirmative choices to support our chi, our prana, our life force, which is essentially the energy that our cells are using in order to continue the flow of life running through us. So, our legacy, if we're living the life of which is most, I would say, reciprocating from our environment, but also acting in conjunction with our environment, then our legacy is going to be one that is not only fulfilling, but is also feeding into and off of the vitality of our life force that is within us. Simply put and said, if you take care of yourself, you will be living a legacy, i.e., you will have a life of fulfillment because your body and your mind are perceiving and receiving information from the outside world that is life fulfilling. So, your purpose in life could be to own a horse range. Your purpose in life could be to write books on the beach of Hawaii one day. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the vitality within your body and mind to receive those experiences, then your legacy is not as fully lived because you're not able to be 100% filled in your energetic capacity as a human being and as a channel for this life force or prana or energy, as I had stated. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I know this is it can be a little bit esoteric when talking about energy, when talking about your physical body, when talking about your actual health conditions, because it seems as if they're coming off of a different scale of reality, but in reality, they are all essentially talking about the same thing, your vitality, but from a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual perspective, okay? So I'm just trying to paint the picture for you guys here that the way that you feel on a daily basis, as in the way that your mind and your body is, wherever your mind and your body is at on a vitality scale, is going to be Very, very, very important when it comes to you living your legacy to your fullest. So next I wanted to talk about your chi or vitality as supporting you in the conscious and subconscious creation of your endeavors. So what I mean by that is kind of tying back to metaphysics and epigenetics. When our chi is in full alignment, as in we have full vitality in our body, we have eliminated inflammation, when we're having good sleep, when we're eating proper food, high quality organic food, when we're breathing properly and we're spending enough time outside and we're not putting a bunch of toxins in there on our bodies, then essentially what's going to happen is our body and our mind is supported to have optimal biochemical reactions. It's essentially having a trafficless road, right? The traffic just flows seamlessly. When there's traffic in the road, i.e. we may be making improper decisions with regards to our health, or we may have some sort of external environmental factor or stressor that may be disrupting that ease and flow of energy, then we are going to have an imbalance, and that imbalance is going to throw us off course to living our legacy with the fullness that our body and mind desires to be flourishing in. So within that is cellular repair and digestion. So your body, your cells in your digestive system essentially need space to heal. They need space to fully They need space to biochemically react in the way that are most life affirmative for your body in order to do so. So, for instance, if we decide to eat processed food every single day and we know that that's an inflammatory food, we know that that's a food that's going to actually take energy away from us instead of giving it to us, then we are essentially we're chipping away at the essence of our vitality, as well as our ability to live our life fully, because we're not able to be fully present in the energetic being that we are. I feel as though the more that I explain this, the more that it will make sense to you all. Because it is a pretty dynamic topic, and I can understand that if there's a lot of loopholes that may need to be further acknowledged. So lastly, I want to talk about the autonomic nervous system as an example. So again, going back to our chi or our life force, we are essentially always giving energy or accumulating energy. Our autonomic nervous system is a good example of this. That's going to be our fight or flight system or our rest and digest system. Our rest and digest system is essentially encapsulating all processes within the body that absorb energy and help to cultivate life force. Sleep would be a really good example. Yang, otherwise known as your fight or flight, is going to be anything that expends energy, that costs energy. That could be considered eating processed food, having to process toxins in the body. Working out would be considered fight or flight, because more or less, however much you work out, it's going to be considered a stress on the body. So that would be considered an example of the give and the take of the energy that you may be receiving or utilizing on a daily basis. Now, if we're overutilizing, then our vitality goes down. If we're overaccumulating, then our vitality goes down. So if we are ensuring that our energy balance is in alignment, as in we are getting enough sleep for our bodies, we're taking in the proper amount of water, we are breathing correctly, we're going to bed on time, we aren't overextending ourselves to others, then we will have enough energy and life force within us to not only give love to ourselves, but also give love to people in our relationships, and to give love to people in our community through what other legacy we have within ourselves to share. So, to tie this all together, we must all realize that health and vitality is directly attuned to you living your legacy and your life with full purpose. This is a very, very passionate topic for me. I see myself making more videos down the line on this in the future. But overall, I just really want to paint the picture of allowing you to see that your health is essentially absolutely essential. Your thinking, breathing, moving, eating, sleeping, and drinking, if I haven't said that yet. Your 6 foundation principles, excuse me, it's been a long day. Your 6 foundation principles are most important for you to pay attention to when you are thinking about the importance of the legacy that you're leaving behind and the person that you would like to be every single day. Your legacy being essentially the footprint that you leave on the world. So if you're in a fully vital state, if you are feeling your best, if you're looking your best, if you are just a radiant star every day, that's amazing. But overall, what's most important is the love that we have for ourselves, our relationships, and for the world. And if we don't have love for ourselves first, then we cannot give away from a half-empty cup. So that's why taking care of our health first is most important. Hope this is a wonderful video for you guys. Again, friendly reminder about the Lymphlammation Challenge. Keep following me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're watching this, because I will be posting about it more. But just stay tuned for November 1st. Add yourself to my free Facebook group, Trust Your Gut. I'll leave the link somewhere close to this video. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.